because you can't see the progress. I'm overweight as hell. And people tell me, boy, what you doing? You losing weight? And I was like, oh, you talking to me? Shit, I don't know who you talking to, because I can't see what you see. I know I put my clothes on, sometimes I can feel it, and I'm like, oh, okay. You got a little bit more room in here. And then sometimes I put it on, I'm like, hello, Governor. This is Rekai Steve, new from the Ville, and I'm here to talk about Forever, Season 1, Episode 8. Forever. Let me tell you a little story first. You know, I talk to all my kids about the future. What does the future hold, and what are they looking to do? And currently, it is the summer before my oldest son's senior year. Where did time go? I remember holding him in my hand. He looked like a beanie baby. Was tiny. A big head boy, but I loved him more than life itself. And now he's a tall, big, old, bad-mouthed, big head boy that I still love more than life itself. And not only that, I doubled, tripled, quadrupled down, and I got 3 more kids that I love more than life themselves. But I'm talking about my oldest son because the future is now. Me and my son's approach to the future is so different. And I remember I had an approach until I didn't. And all I'm saying is that going into my 9th grade year, going into my freshman year of high school, I had a traumatic event that happened to my family, to me and my brother, to my mother, for 2 years. And it took 20 plus years and a lot of therapy to even deal with it. I'm not going to say get over it. I don't know if I'm over it or not. There's a lot of hurt and trauma there. I had a plan. I was extremely intelligent, extremely gifted in the way of sports and books, and I had a lot of options. I had a lot of choices, as we talked about in the last deep dive. But when I came back holding all of that trauma, and it didn't feel like a book bag, you know, like a backpack full of trauma. It felt like Atlas and the weight of the world type trauma. If Atlas is holding the world on his shoulders and it looks like his knees are about to buckle, but he doesn't go down, I think I was down. I'm still holding it, but I was crawling with it still on my back. And it took years to lighten that load, to lift it. I don't want that for my kids. So, I started talking to my oldest son about what was his plans for the future. And he said that he gets so much joy and so much excitement, enjoyment out of playing football. Football is life. But I was like, okay, so you want a scholarship to college, full ride. We need a full ride. I said, so what are you going to major in college? Like, what do you want to do with your life? He's like, I want to play football. And I was like, I get it, son. However, if you go to somebody's school to play football, they're going to allow you to come to school. You have to study something to be there. And as an added benefit, an enhancement of your education you're getting, they're going to let you play football. He's like, I don't know. And he's done that for almost 2-3 years now. However, he is at the point now where he's saying he thinks he's going to major in business. And I don't know why that came about. But I'm happy that something has come about. Where me, on the other hand, I retreated. I was a extroverted introvert. So I could put on a smile and go out and hobnob and, you know, talk shit and be out here, be the center of attention. The whole time I'm dying inside. I don't really want to be outside. I don't really want to be holding court with all these people. I don't give a shit. I'd rather be at the house, curled up next to somebody warm or something. And it's hard to get out of your own way sometimes. But at some point, you gotta start plotting out your future. Let's talk about it. Hello, Governor. This is Rick Steve, new from the Ville. And we're gonna be extremely short in this particular media therapy deep dive. Now, I'm assuming that you've already seen this episode. If not, go into the description, see the one that says episode this analysis is based on, and you can see the reaction between Centel and myself. I'm going to keep this really short. We're talking about episode 8, Forever, of the show called Forever. Now, what does that mean? Real quick synopsis. Ultimately, we see Keisha and Justin break up. We learned in the last episode that Justin was lost and he was holding on to Keisha because he didn't have anything else. She became his world. Instead of him having something for himself, some purpose. He wasn't driven by anything, not even the need, the want to play basketball anymore. He got into Northwestern, but he quickly realized he didn't want to be at Northwestern. He had gone to white schools, predominantly white schools, PWIs, his entire life. And he was always belittled, made to feel small. He had to shrink when he could have been just being himself, had the space to let his guard down, to be vulnerable without being threatened. And he didn't want that. He didn't want the future that his mother had planned out for his life. There's nothing wrong with the future his mother planned out for his life, but he didn't want that. They didn't collaborate. They didn't work together to figure out what he wanted. Because the thing is, no matter what you plan for your kids, if they don't want any parts of it, they are going to fail. They're going to waste your money. They're going to waste their time, which is even worse than wasting your money. Because money you can recoup. Time you can't get that back. Keisha had things plotted out. She's going to Howard. She got into Howard. She's going. And Keisha and Justin have found ways to go their own separate ways and figure out what they wanted. And it just so happened that Keisha was out with her girls. Justin was out. And they ran into each other. And they decided to have a sit down. He took her to dinner to get ramen noodles. Which, funny enough, coming back around, that was the plan for the first date. That got horribly messed up. So he took her out to do ramen because that was one of his favorite things. He loved, gourmet ramen at a restaurant. And they had a really good talk. Justin was moving fast ahead with Rodney making music. And he had signed a deal, or he'd sold a song to a big artist. And things were looking good for him. He started talking about his plan. He was going to take a gap year, which, if you don't know what that is a year out of school to figure out things. He was going to get his resume up and build a stronger resume to maybe get into a music program he wanted to be in, like an NYU or something. Now they were going to start college in the fall of 2019. And as we know, by spring of 2020, the pandemic hits. So it'll be real interesting to see how they tackle that in the next season if they don't do a large time jump. Now, you know that I love my quotes, and I have 2 quotes for you today. The first one's real simple. It's from Mark Twain, and he says, "Plan for the future, because that's where you're going to spend the rest of your life." And the second one's from Peter Drucker, and he says, "Trying to predict the future is like trying to drive down a country road at night with no lights, looking out the back window." I'm going to call this Media Therapy Deep Dive, Plotting Out Your Future. You know, in the last deep dive, I talked about simply having choices, and I'm going to kind of build on that, because to me, these last 2 episodes kind of build on each other, and we look at this unknowing future for Keisha and Justin. I have 4 strategies for you to plot out your future. First one, define your vision. Identify your long-term goals, even if that includes doing a SMART framework, which we used to do that at work all the time. We used to have to write out SMART goals. And that was to make sure that your goals are specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. If you can put your goals into those categories, you can move forward. Consider your values. What's important to you? This will guide your decisions. Like, as you're making your long-term goals, think about, what is your short-term goals? What do you want to do in the next 3 months, 6 months, a year, next 5 years, next 10 years, next 20 years? And I know it's hard to think that far out. But if these are real goals that you want to hit, then absolutely think that far out. Because the best thing that could do is that you hit them early, and you have the challenge of making new goals. And then honestly reflect on your passions and skills. What do you want to do? The best thing that happens in your life is that you get a job that doesn't feel like a job, that you're doing work that aligns with your passion, with the skills that you have. And every day that you're doing it seems like a dream. You know, we see this all the time in sports and entertainers, and we are flabbergasted. How could they not enjoy? They don't look like they're having fun anymore, because their passion has now become a job. And they're having to do far more things than they ever wanted to do. But you can tell those who love it, who live it, who breathe it, the Kobe Bryants, the Michael Jordans of the world. They love this thing, Steph Curry. And it makes a difference. You can see it. Do you have a passion like that? Drop me a comment. Do you have skills like that you should be using? And I'm not talking about what did you go to school to get your degree in. A lot of people go to school, get a degree, and then end up living a life where they don't use that degree at all. Shit, I did it. And I actually worked in the field of my degree for a little while before I was like, oh, hell no, I don't want to do this shit. I can't imagine doing this shit every day, all day, for the rest of my life. Hell no. Number 2, create a plan. Break down your goals. If you're trying to figure out where you're going to be in 20 years, don't think about it that way. Break it down into small, bite-sized chunks. How about, what are you going to do tomorrow? Start there. What does tomorrow hold? How about this week? What are you going to do in the next 2 weeks? What are you going to do in the next month? What are you going to do in the next 3 months? What are you going to do this quarter? Next 6 months? This year? Break your goals down so that you can start collecting W's. It's all about the wins. Develop a strategic plan. I don't give a shit what you're doing. You can't build a house without a plan. Everyone that's building a house has a look at the damn blueprint. I don't give a shit how many houses you built. You're going to look at the blueprint. Everything has got to measure correctly. Measure twice, cut once. Figure out a plan And even if something goes wrong, have a contingency. Hell, figure it out and do the same shit again. Maybe you did it wrong this time. While you're at it, get yourself a mentor. Is there somebody that's already doing what you want to do? Is there somebody that has on the path working towards what you want to do? You know, people actually like to teach other people. And I know we have a lot of gatekeepers, but you can still find out more information what you know. And, you know, you're walking around with a supercomputer in your pocket. Google it. Ask Siri. Ask ChatGPT. Ask Gemini. They'll tell you. But it's also good to find a person, to find those pitfalls, find the challenges and obstacles that you may not see coming. And ChatGPT sure in the hell don't know. Is there a budget for your goal? If they are, figure that shit out. Number 3, simple. Implement your plan and then adjust the plan. Simple. Now that you got a plan, take action. And if things are not working out, adjust the plan and take action. You got to be flexible. You also have to know that you have to review, refine your plan, assess, review, adjust, take action. And if you can get past all those things, the 4th one might be the hardest one. And that's to stay motivated. Now, one of the easiest ways to stay motivated is to collect those W's. Because the more wins that you get, you can see the progress. It's like losing weight. If you're eating right, going to the gym, and you're overweight, and then you go get on the scale and you're like, I was killing it this week. I know I had to at least lost a couple pounds. And your weight's the same. Or maybe it even went up. You're like, what the hell? I did everything right. I ate right. I intermittent fast. I ate plenty of protein. I cut out the fat and the sugar and all the bullshit. I went to the gym at least 3 times a day and I really burned this shit off. How the hell am I still the same weight, or did I gain weight? And sometimes it's because you don't understand that you gain weight and maybe even picked up a few muscles heavier. But it's still discouraging nonetheless because you can't see the progress. I'm overweight as hell. And people tell me, boy, what you doing? You losing weight? And I was like, oh, you talking to me? Shit, I don't know who you talking to because I can't see what you see. I know I put my clothes on, sometimes I can feel it. And I was like, oh, okay. Got a little bit more room in here. And then sometimes I put it on, I'm like, pick that weight back up. Damn it. I can feel it. But when I look in the mirror, shit, a lot of times I see the same shit. You know, to stay motivated, focus on your passion, focus on the purpose, focus on the goal. Collect those W's. You need to celebrate every small victory that you can get. And really the most important thing is to surround yourself with positive influences. Believe me, there are going to be plenty of haters along the way. And some of them are going to be people close to you. Some of them are going to be people in your family. Some of them are going to be in your friend circle. Because maybe they liked you exactly where you was at. They don't like you progressing. They don't want to see you achieve and do well. Because now they have to take some stock in their own life and figure out why in the hell aren't they progressing. A lot of people don't want to do that. If I'm down here wallowing in the mud, I'm good with you wallowing with me. That's what we do. We wallow in this mud together. No, how dare you get up and clean the mud off of you and start moving forward. How dare you? None of this is going to be hard, but if you can do these 4 things, Create a solid plan for your future. Implement it. Adjust. You have a very high chance of achieving your goals. This is Rakai Steed, Newfoundlandville. Make sure that you like this. Share it with as many people as possible. Share it with everybody. Share it with the world. Leave me some comments. Let me know about what you thought about the plans to plot out your future. Are you plotting out your future? Think about it. Are you working in your passion? Are you working towards doing what you want to do? Leave me some comments. And if for some reason you haven't subscribed, I get it. But it's not too late. You can do it right now. Hit the button, subscribe, watch all the other videos so that you can be 100% in the loop. And maybe you see something that really speaks to you. Remember, everything I do, I use this, but it's even more important to use this.